So if you have been online at all in the past couple of days, you have seen this tragedy with Kobe Bryant and his daughter and many other people that were killed tragically, right? And it has impacted my clients and the world, I think, in a way that was unexpected. And I've even done a couple extra sessions this week for people because their anxiety has been triggered so much with all of this. And as I've been sort of contemplating this more, I wanted to shoot this video just quickly and address some of these things because I think there are a few reasons why this tragedy is getting to people so much. And there's a few things that I think we can do about it. And this is more from a therapeutic sense. Because that's what I do, and that's how this is impacting me and my clients. So I want to talk through some of these things and talk through why it's so heavy and what we can do and all of that. So many things have been coming up, and they have come up for me too, and for my clients, and I wrote down a few of them, so I may refer to my phone a little bit so I don't forget a few of these points. And I don't want to get too crazy into this, but I do want to talk about a few things because I think it is important to address, and it's impacting so many people. So as I was thinking about this and talking to people about this, I realized there were about 5 different ways that this is coming up for people and really impacting them, and I want to talk through kind of why that is. But the first one is people's anxiety has been triggered like crazy. So people who already have anxiety, it's been triggered a lot. But even people like me who I don't really have anxiety, but I have experienced a lot more of it postpartum, and this hit me in this way too, like anxiety, ruminating thoughts, what if questions, just continuing to think about what happened to them and what could happen to me and what could happen to the people that I love, and so many different thoughts, right? And I think tragedies like this can hit us in these ways because we didn't see it coming. I think in this particular circumstance too, it's kind of somebody who has a little bit of a I don't know, almost like a how to even describe it, almost like such a celebrity, almost godlike status that nothing could happen to this person, that it's so shocking that it happened in this way and in such a public and tragic and terrible, heart-wrenching way. And that happening spurs so many thoughts, I think, for all of us, imagining what that must have felt like and what that was like for them and how much it's impacting their families. Like all of these people had families that loved them and cared about them and were expecting them home that night. And all of those thoughts send us on a million different questions and worries and fears, and just the thoughts continue and continue and continue, right? And it's hard for us to kind of make any sense of that because there isn't any sense to be made of it. It is a tragedy, and so that triggers so many of those thoughts and anxieties for us. And for me, especially as a new parent, right, thinking about how the Bryant family just had a baby last year, right? That's a similar age to my baby. So it just makes you kind of crazy. And I've talked to clients who are like, I have no connection to basketball, I don't have any kids, I don't have any of this stuff, but it's still really getting to me. And I think that's kind of surprising for a lot of people. Like, why is this impacting me so much? But it's hitting things within us. It's hitting our fears and our anxieties and all of this stuff that is within us, and it feels really personal even when it's not, right? But it shows how, I think, connected we all are, and how much of our fears and worries and hopes and dreams and all of that are the same, because it impacts so many of us in similar ways. And it's also so public, right? You can't get away from it. I even went off social media for a couple of days because I was like, I don't need to see this all the time in such an intense way. And all of the photos and paintings and videos and things where people were doing are beautiful, but also can be very triggering, right? They're really intense. And so if you already have some worries and some anxieties, seeing all of that in your face all the time, especially when you're not ready for it, right? You're just like looking through your phone, looking through Instagram, and all of a sudden this just beautifully tragic painting is in your face. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. But I think it also brings up a few other things that I want to touch on, which is contemplating how fragile life is, right? That's come up from my clients too, like, oh, this is hitting me in they're just thinking about how like this could happen to me, or this could happen to anyone, or it brings up how they have lost people in the past, or you know, the grief that they have experienced in the past with people, and that's all coming up again with this, and then worrying about it happening to other people. It goes on and on and on. Clients have also been talking to me about the point of life, like what is my purpose, what is my point, what are we doing all of this for, right? Lack of control is another huge one that keeps coming up for people. Like, you can't control anything, and then that goes into more of their anxiety or more of their stuff. It's even hit on some people's suicidal thoughts a little bit, like, if I did something I would actually have more control. So that's kind of an interesting thought that's come up for a few people too, right? So this goes into so many different areas that we would not have really been able to predict. It brings so much up. And the last thing that I want to address really quick is not knowing what to do with the intensity of these emotions. And I think that's a big piece of why people are coming to me and people are talking so much online about this stuff, is a lot of us aren't good at knowing what to do with this sudden intense grief or sadness or loss or all of these emotions and anxieties that are being triggered. We don't know what to do with, and we're not very good at dealing with those and expressing those. So if that is you, that is where we're then challenged to figure out how to do that. And that's kind of what I wanted to wrap this all up with, because we don't want to run away from these emotions or distract or just kind of keep masking them or running away from them, because when we do that, they will come around again, and they do get stronger, and they don't just go away. So we need to find safe spaces that we can process this, whether that's in therapy or with a friend or just writing it out or something. These emotions need to come out, and they need to be looked at, and we can learn from them and come through the other side and feel some sort of, you know, relief, I guess. Relief really isn't the right word, but some sort of way of dealing with them that teaches us that we can get through hard things and we can work through anxiety. And that doesn't mean that it goes away, and that doesn't mean that we don't feel this sadness and this heavy emotion, but it means that we're not running away from it, and we can still continue, and we can find meaning. And some people are already finding that in trying to connect more with people and tell the people that they love them, right? We've seen a lot of that. I also saw something really beautiful that was talking about how this tragedy is showing us how connected we all are in a time that everyone is so disconnected and seemingly on so many different sides, and there's just so much negativity and violence and just awful things happening. But everyone is sort of coming together and realizing that in the end we all are human, and we all hurt, but we also all care, and we can connect and like send a little more love out into the world, right? So that's kind of the little things that we come back to. Okay, well, what can I control? Well, I can control today, and I can control trying to be a little bit more kind to myself and to others. And I'm just gonna find meaning in that today, and I'm gonna be a little more present today. So those are the little things that bring us back in, and they bring us back into the present moment, which is all that we have. And that's something that I found in stillness and in meditation, right? Okay, this is all I have, is the present moment. I can't change the past, and I can't change the future or predict the future, but I have today. What am I doing today? What do I want to do today? What can I do today, right now, in this moment? So those are the things that we can try to find and try to do, the little things, the things that matter to you, the people that matter to you. But yeah, and if this has impacted you in a bigger way than you anticipated, you're not alone. You're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. This is hitting on some really deep stuff for all of us. So give yourself a little more love, a little more patience, a little more understanding, and extend that out to the circle around you and the people around you, even if it's random people that you don't know, right? Send a little more love and kindness out into the world, because that's really all that we have, right? So if you have any comments, if you have any questions, you can comment below or click the link to go to my website and talk to me directly. But I just want to send out a little love to all of you who are watching this. And I know there's hard things going on in the world and hard things going on in all of your lives. And I want to send a little love out to, try to help in the small way that I can. So, all right, guys, that is it for now. My rant is over, but if you have any questions, again, just reach out to me.